I wonder what the nerfs will be. I think Jandice Barov will go from 5 mana to 6 mana. And Flinger will be hit. It will no longer be able to go face. Watch posts, the 2 and 3 mana watch posts, will both have a health taken off on them. I think Deck of Lunacy will go to 2 to 4 mana. I think Sword of the Fallen will go from a 1 mana 1/3 to a 1 mana 1/2. That guy seems to know his stuff.
Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the nerfs have been announced. They're finally out. We finally know what's happening, and if you checked into my video earlier today on This Week in Hearthstone, we kind of had some predictions, and well, they turned out they're all true. They're all true, so let's go over all the nerfed cards and their implications. So starting off, the big elephant in the room, the card that everybody wanted to see get nerfed is nerfed. Deck of Lunacy from 2 mana to 4 mana. Basically, this card is supposed to be a meme. It wasn't supposed to be a tier 1 meta-defining card, and at 2 it does, and at 4 it will effectively kill it off. I've had a lot of people come to me and be like, Zeddy, 4 mana, it doesn't change the card. It's still ridiculous. It's 4 mana, do nothing, in a deck that already doesn't do great against aggression. That's 2 turns you have to wait before you can play this. Not only that, it's 2 turns where when you play it, you can't do anything else. It's not going to be a viable tier 1 deck. However, I do think Spell Mage is still going to be a good deck. Freshing Springwater is ridiculously good, as we've seen in Wild as well, like Flamewaker Mage, and I think that deck is a valid archetype, as it should be, because it's super fun and awesome to play, and I would be very surprised if Spell Mage is not at least a tier 2 deck. There have been so many games where I don't draw a Deck of Lunacy, where I still win with like a burn strategy, a value strategy. You can go back to Cthulhu. There's a lot of implications for Spell Mage, so if you're worried about it, you're upset that Deck of Lunacy is nerfed and Spell Mage is not going to be playable, I think it's going to be very playable. It might not be tier 1, but it's going to be competitive, and it's still going to be a ton of fun, and I will be playing it for sure, even though Deck of Lunacy is nerfed. I didn't like the Deck of Lunacy aspect of it, period. I like the other part. I didn't like the pure random, so I'm going to be playing Spell Mage without Deck of Lunacy, and hopefully it'll be a good time and still win some games. Next, we have the Paladin weapon. The other big nerf is Sword of the Fallen. It's going from 3 durability to 2 durability. So now you're not drawing 3 cards for 2 mana and playing them and thinning your deck. It's 2 cards. This card is still really good. This kind of takes me back to like Evil Miscreant or Shattered Jeweler Hanar or a Secret Passage type nerf, where you have a card that's absolutely busted, now scaled back to being just a really good card in a really good archetype. Secret Paladin's still good. Libram Paladin, although it's taking a big hit with one of the cards we'll talk about, is still good. This card will still be a very meta card. You're still cheating out 2 secrets playing them. Compare that to Mad Scientist, that's pretty good. While pushing damage, while doing all that, it's going to be a good card. It's still going to be, Paladin's still going to be like tier 1 for sure, in my opinion, after this. But, you know, it's going to be more of an aggro mid-range strategy, because I don't know how well Libram Paladin's going to do after this, honestly. Next, we have Jandice Barov going from 5 mana to 6 mana. And yeah, Jandice is one of the most busted 5-drops ever made, period, in Hearthstone. The win rate on it's been insane, and the 5-drop pool has gotten so much better with the rotation and the core set and all that stuff. We talked about it a ton, and at 6 mana it slows her down a bit. You know, like that's a big deal. 1 turn's a big deal. Will she still see play? Probably. She's still pretty insane, still really good with Shadow Step and Rogue, but at 6 mana, and you know, there was already the top end of the curve at 5. Do you want to go the top end of the curve at 6, or do you want to try different Rogue strategies? Who knows? But it's a good change. She still kind of keeps the spirit of herself, but honestly kind of ruins the flavor. One of the reasons I always thought that they wouldn't change her to 6 mana is because, you know, she's splitting images of herself, right? She's creating 2 other 5-drops just like herself. Well, now she's creating 2 6-drops, but she's creating 2 5-drops, but she's a 6-drop. So it's kind of interesting, kind of ruins the flavor of it, but she'll probably get reverted like a year from now. It'll make more sense, but in terms of balance, it makes a lot more sense at 6. And, you know, Rogue can't really abuse her as well, and she hasn't really seen much play in Mage lately, and I don't think she's going to be making a comeback in Mage if she's 6 mana. Next, we have Flinger. No longer can go face. This was a nerf I suggested probably 2 months ago, almost to this day, like a very long time ago. That's how I figured Penflinger could be changed while keeping its annoying nature, its repetitive nature. But yeah, now the aggro decks don't run this. You're not going to see this in a weapon rogue anymore. You're not going to see this in like face hunter, all these aggression strategies. The infinite Penflingers is no longer able to go face. It can only be worked in like a kind of a mid-range-ish, control-ish like archetype. So I don't know, maybe Liber and Paladin still utilizes it because it lets them get off all these great trades. They just can't push that damage. And one of the problems Liber and Paladin has is kind of pushing that finishing damage. And without Penflinger, maybe they'll have to build it differently. But again, I think Liber and Paladin can use Penflinger as like a control style thing, but I don't think, obviously no aggressive deck is going to use this. This card's play rate is going to go way down. I don't know if it becomes unplayable. I'm not entirely sure of that, but I do think it can fit into like, yeah, those more mid-range-ish control-ish types of decks. And well, we don't have to be called loser, hey loser, over and over and over again. And I think we can all welcome that. When we looked at the stats for this card, like for this expansion, it had been played like over like what, 250,000 times in like a couple of weeks. It's just a really annoying card. It's a frustrating card. It's never had the highest win rate. It's never been the most impactful, but for the health of the game, I think it's a good change. And I mean, I suggested it a while ago, so it must be a great change if Zeddy's suggesting it. This guy never has bad ideas. Remember Cutter Butter? It's broken. That should have been nerfed too, right? Oh wait, where's Cutter Butter on this list? Let's not talk about that, right, Nova? She already left. Never mind, she's here. And then lastly, we have the neutral cards that are being nerfed. The Far Watch Post going from 4 health to 3 health. Again, I guess they didn't like how powerful these were. Basically, you stuck it early. You basically could lock your opponent out of the game. This is going to have a really big implication in Wild more than Standard. These cards have kind of fallen off in Standard a good amount. But in Wild, especially with like the whole like Tax Paladin, they call it, where you call to arms this, that hurts that deck a lot. Like that 1 health is a big deal. It dies to a Frostbolt. It dies to a lot more removal. It's a lot more fragile. So it's a big change, but it actually shakes up Wild a lot more. This one's kind of surprised me. Even though I predicted it because reasons, yeah, it kind of surprised me that this one is getting hit because Standard, yeah, it just doesn't have a great win rate. I think H's Replay printed the results on it. It was like minus 50% this card, but it could just be included in a lot of bad decks bringing it down. But Far Watch Post, it kind of creates an unfun experience, right? Not being able to play your cards, having them cost more, it's kind of a frustration. And I guess they didn't like the power level of being that high. And we also have Martian Watch Posts going from a 3/5 to 3/4 as well. Another significant change. Same vein, this card really fell off in Standard because Spellmage became so big because, well, Spellmage doesn't play minions, so this card sucks. This card's just not good against no minions, but with Spellmage being nerfed, this card might have become a problem, so they're nipping it in the butt right away. And I mean, it just creates a frustrating experience where you're punished for playing minions. The other deck is the other card you're punished for, you know, not being able to play your cards, drawing cards. It's just, they're tech cards, but I just think they wanted to take the power level down, and I can understand that. Understanding they won't be available in Arena, they're really hard to deal with in Arena as well. You don't have premium cheap removal, and you're basically punished for literally everything you do. So I welcome the change. I think it's really good. And there's a bunch of Battlegrounds updates as well. We don't really cover Battlegrounds on this channel much. I'll quickly scroll through. You can get a little look at things, but I will shout out 2 Battlegrounds YouTubers that will probably have update videos, maybe as soon as this goes up, maybe a bit later, but I'll shout out It's Ben. He's amazing. His content's amazing. Go check him out, and check out Nicolina as well. Nicolina is an awesome content creator with awesome Battlegrounds content. So if you want more Battlegrounds YouTube content, check out It's Ben and Nicolina. But that's the nerfs. I'm excited. I can't wait to play ladder again with these changes. And they're going live on April 13th. They're going live tomorrow. So log in on Tuesday, disenchant a bunch of cards, get dust. I have golden deck of Lunacy and non-golden deck of Lunacy. Easy dust for Zeddy here. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.